Hello, this is Frank Gomez with Empowered Marketing. Today, we're going to look at how a website which is ADA compliant also helps people who are not disabled. And this is why you should have an ADA compliant website no matter what. We're going to look at our most recent website, which is the Rotary Club of Jasper in Pickens County, Georgia. So first, you'll probably notice that the color contrast is very good. We use this tool here to test color contrast. So for example, we'll use gold text with a blue background or blue text on a gold background because it meets the AA standard. There is a AAA standard, but that's not what's required by law. It's actually difficult in some situations to meet the AAA standard. We wanted to stick with the Rotary colors as much as possible because it's very important for our branding. Also, what we did to make this website easier to understand is by visually distinguishing that these external links to Rotary websites are not part of the main navigation. Now, disabled people will actually be notified by what's called ARIA, and it actually says external link to Rotary International and so on for these other links. The navigation is very clear. That helps everybody. And we have an alternative way to search the website or to find things on the website. So we can search for anything. And we'll get a good result that's easy to understand. Also, we have something called breadcrumbs. These are little indicators to tell you where you are on the website. It's very helpful for disabled people especially, but also for people who are not disabled. Website accessibility guidelines also include the requirement for focus indication. So this tells someone where the keyboard is at any time. So if you're tabbing through, you'll see this thing, and you're not allowed to use color to show the difference between a link and regular text. So we also have these underscores. But going back to the focus indication, I figure if focus indication is useful for disabled people, I also think it's useful for people who are able-bodied. The nice thing about focus indication is we don't have to worry about color blindness because we're changing colors of the background or something. It's an obvious indicator. Another setting we use regarding fonts is making them adjust to the browser settings. I've actually never seen this on a website, even though other websites are supposed to be ADA compliant. So I'm going to change my browser settings. I go to settings, appearance, and then make my fonts as big as possible within the limits of the browser. And you'll see that all the fonts got bigger. Now this is an icon, it didn't get bigger, but all the fonts on the website, and then this is a picture, so that didn't get, the text within that picture didn't get bigger. So the nice thing about this is, a lot of people, as they get older, they tend to change the settings on their browser. So, especially as people get older, they change the font sizes on their browser. And unfortunately, most websites don't respond to that. Also, you'll notice that the content is generally left justified. The reason it's left justified is that actually makes a page easier to scan. There are people that think you should alternate pictures and jump things around to keep people interested, but it actually makes it much harder for people to use, much harder for people to actually find what they want and keep going down the page. Also, you shouldn't have text that is totally justified, lined up on both sides. That makes it difficult for people to read a page of text, a paragraph of text, if they have some visual challenges. Let's go over here to the form. So forms need to have labels. That's a requirement. And if we go to, let's see, this website is one that comes to mind. They're using these placeholders, which actually can add a little confusion. It looks like the form is already filled out, and it doesn't have the labels. The labels are actually things that are read to a user who can't see. There's so many different tools that disabled people use to scan a website, but labels help people who are not disabled. This form also has a validation summary. This helps you tell you that which fields you need to go back and fix or check before you submit the form. And then even the text on here, this tells you what the form's going to do. For example, a payment form would say pay now or submit payment. The default on most forms is submit. Well, submit isn't the easiest to understand. Also, our forms don't use reCAPTCHA. reCAPTCHA is those pictures of stairs, motorcycles, crosswalks, and stoplights and buses. Those things drive everybody crazy. And imagine if you have visual difficulties or if you have to use the audio version of those things to try and get through. It slows everybody down and it's very frustrating. In this case, all you have to do is enter this code. If you can see, you can just double click it, copy it, and paste it, and that will get you through. Now, hopefully with AI changes, we don't have to change this, but it's possible. Another thing that makes the website easier for everybody is this scroll to top button, especially on longer pages. The scroll to top helps disabled people too, because if they are tabbing through the website because they can't use a mouse, the scroll to top allows them to get back to the top quickly. And if you don't do that, what happens if they tab through and there isn't a skip to top, then they get lost. So like right now, the icon went up here to the browser and then it tabbed to something else I don't even know. So the scroll to top, there we go. Now we're up here. And so the scroll to top helps you bypass those things and stay on the page and not jump around to the browser items. Now, this topic is not specifically listed in ADA compliance guidelines, but it's very near and dear to my heart, and that's website performance. We can actually get a perfect score of 100 and 100, but this website is a local website. We don't need to use a CDN, so we just give up that extra point on the structure here. But you'll see that the website is fully loaded in half a second. That is helpful for everybody. And one of the guidelines in ADA compliance is whether it's robust. So if you look at all these rules here, let me move this thing. We'll get to robust. And that's a lot about compatibility and errors and so on. Well, compatibility can even include what device you're using. So if your website is really slow on mobile, and this is a slow LTE test, and we're still under less than 1.5 seconds, 1.1 seconds to fully load the page. I really believe in fully loading the page versus what's called time to interactive or first contentful paint, because everyone who's used a phone while they're out there and about without Wi-Fi has loaded a website and tried to do something, and then the website doesn't respond. So performance to me is critical, and it helps everyone, those with disabilities and those who are not disabled. Thank you very much for your attention today. We really appreciate it, and please click the link below to learn more, and please subscribe to this channel. Have a great day.